The Brett Cooper drama has been so intense. For those that don't know who Brett Cooper is, I'll try to explain all that I can as if you've never heard this before. I don't want to assume people already know about this. I think that's a little bit unfair to do. Okay, so the Daily Wire is a conservative media company. You know, they have Ben Shapiro, they have all these kind of conservative voices. They do like a daily news show. And they've grown really popular. And so then they started having even movies and different projects like that. At one point, Candace Owens worked for them. And so then they started this show called The Comments Section. And it's supposed to be more of like a Gen Z type show where basically it's like a news topic, and then they're showing, spicy comments, giving context to all these different topics. It's just a fun show. But it was like each episode could be like 10 minutes long. And they had this girl named Brett Cooper doing the show, hosting the show. In my mind, I didn't know that the show was just the comment section with her. It could be the comment section with anybody. So basically the fact that she's replaceable and that show will still stand versus their other shows, the Matt Walsh Show, the Michael Knowles Show, the Andrew Klavan Show, the Ben Shapiro Show. Those shows, they're not going to have someone replace Ben Shapiro and it still be called the Ben Shapiro Show. If anything were to happen to Ben Shapiro, that's so silly. Like, that's never going to happen, So Brett Cooper apparently had a contract with this show for 3 years. And then typically you renew this kind of a contract, you make a new deal, maybe there's more pay, who knows. She had done extremely well with this show for the past 3 years that she had it. There were like 4.5 million subscribers on YouTube. I think she was even getting higher views than Ben Shapiro. So she was doing so incredibly well. She was also doing some acting stuff for the Daily Wire because she is an actress at trade. She's just very good with all that. I remember seeing this show advertised and everything. I always follow with what the Daily Wire is doing. I will admit, I had a bit of a bias towards her. I was like, who's this younger than me girl doing this kind of a weird looking show that looks like like she's in her bedroom and all that. Although, what am I doing right now? But I was just like, who is this? This is weird. And I was like probably 2 years in, I decided, okay, let me just watch and see. And I fall in love with this girl. She's amazing. She's so funny. She's so dynamic. She really is able to tell a story so well and draw you in, and you feel informed after the fact. And so I was pretty much hooked. I was watching all of her episodes nonstop. I really, really liked everything she had to say for the most part. And so then, kind of at the tail end of her 3 years before the contract renewal, she has a producer named Reagan, and she starts filling in, quote unquote, for Brett Cooper. And it was like a Friday and stuff like that. And she's like, she'll be back on Monday. I'm just filling in.
Back to the comment section. I am producer Reagan.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I am filling in for Brett today and guest hosting the show. And don't worry, Brett will be back on Monday, but I am here today. And I'm normally the one sitting over there in the chair, but Bobby is filling in for me today. And I am sitting in this chair, bringing you some very interesting stories. I don't know about you all, but I am so sick and tired.
And so you're just like, okay, that's fine. A little weird. They've never done this before. She even had her show in I think it was Budapest or Hungary or something like that. And it was like, it's weird that she could be in another country and they never had someone fill in, but now they're having someone fill in. Well, maybe this show is so good now that they have to, they can't skip a day. I was like, I could get behind that. I understand. And also, this is Reagan. And, Reagan is her maid of honor. It was her maid of honor for her wedding. They were best friends. So, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. And I remember watching Reagan for these episodes where she was filling in and just thinking, wow, for just being a producer of Brett's show, she's really good at this. She's not Brett, but oddly enough, she's pretty dang close. And yeah, I didn't think anything of it, and I just kept on going on my way. And then there started to come out these rumors that Brett Cooper was quitting with the Daily Wire, that she was going to be replaced by this Reagan girl, that this Reagan girl had been taking acting classes to essentially be as close to Brett Cooper as she could be. Just all these things. And it was like, whoa, what the heck? And then people were saying, Brett, on your last day of your show, wear blue. If I think it was like if you were forced out, something like that. And so then on her last show, she's wearing blue. And she's like, not all the rumors are true. It was my choice to leave this show. Let's hear now from the God King. I may play a clip or something.
Heard the rumors online, and the rumors are mostly true. Today, December 10th, will be my last day hosting the comment section and working for the Daily Wire. It is not true that I am being forced out. It was my own choice to leave. And believe me, this is bittersweet today. But at this point in my life, I am ready to take on a new direction, both personally and professionally. This means new challenges and new endeavors, which I will share with you soon. As for this show, the comment section will continue with the Daily Wire. My producer, Reagan, is taking over as host of the comment section, and I wish her and the Daily Wire all the best. And now for some final thoughts from the God King himself, Jeremy Boring.
And then Jeremy Boring just gives some we're so excited to see what Brett Cooper does. And Reagan's going to be filling in.
Bittersweet indeed. We're sad to see Brett go, but we're excited to see her take the next step in her journey. Brett's an amazing talent, both as a personality and as an actress. It's been a pleasure to see her bring the comment section to life these last 3 years, and her performance in the Pendragon cycle is sensational. I'm certain that whatever Brett creates next will be filled with the same joy and laughter and heart that she's brought to all of her work at the Daily Wire. And we wish her nothing but the best.
For her, blah, blah, blah. And so then Brett does this amazing last episode. And during the last episode, you almost wonder if she's giving a kind of a hidden message behind what she's saying.
One person said, quote, "You are the company you keep has never been proven wrong yet." I mean, guys, on a smaller scale, let this be a lesson. You are a sum of the people that you surround yourself with. If you don't like the way that they make you feel, if you don't like what they drive you to do, if you don't like their behaviors, then remove yourself, choose to leave. That is what Jay-Z should have done.
And so it was super interesting. And then, Reagan replaces her. They don't change the set that much. Everything pretty much feels very similar. And you don't hear from Brett for a while. Brett makes a new YouTube channel. She still has yet to post a video on there. She unfollows Reagan on Instagram. And the next time you see Brett, you see her at TPUSA speaking. And then you feel like there's another hidden message about who your friends are and all that kind of stuff.
That I stood firm in my beliefs, that I was not bullied into silence, that I fought to make the world better, and that I did it joyfully, that I showed up on my show every single day joyfully because it mattered. As I navigate life, I have had to learn that individual friends come and go, politicians will come and go, people will disappoint you, and sometimes alliances shift. The figures that I once trusted might fall short. Everyone goes through this. It's not just me. So when the world feels uncertain, when people let you down, remember that it is not these fleeting moments or fleeting figures that define you. It is the legacy that you build through your actions, through your convictions, and through the love that you cultivate with those around you.
And it was just very odd. It was very strange. It was very strange that, okay, this show was a comment section. It's not Brett's show. Okay, I get it, totally. But the oddest part is, it's not normal to pick a producer to replace the star. I don't hear about that often. There's also a lot of female conservatives in the movement that are very eloquent, could do a show like this and could do super well. Brett was not the first choice for the comment section, from what I'm understanding. It was another girl who has her own YouTube channel now, and she's very good. So the whole thing was just very strange, and it almost felt like, is the Daily Wire trying to kind of poke at Brett, trying to make her feel bad and cause a rift in between them? And then as Reagan is continuing to have this show, people are unsubscribing from the channel, the comment section. The views are way down. The comments are pretty intense of just like hatred towards Reagan. And I wanted to watch Reagan. I wanted to see, okay, let's give her a chance. Let's be open-minded. And so I really was. I was open-minded, watching. And there was something about the way Brett would do her show, where even though it was like a 10-minute episode about a topic, she just had this amazing formula where it was like she'd kind of start intense and give an explanation and kind of like go to the sad stuff. And then at the end, she would give just like this vision of hope, this message of hope. And you just felt so like at peace and like happy in the world. And just like, yeah, this was a really sad episode, but I'm happy at the end because she kind of gave this perspective and stuff. And one of my favorite episodes of hers today is when she was talking about, essentially it was like that girls giving guys a green light is not them being the pursuer in the relationship. That's not them leading the relationship. And I know that's like a super like, duh, everybody knows that. But like, I am telling you, as a Christian female, I was not aware of that. I fully thought if I smiled, if I was talking to a guy, if I said that he was handsome or anything, that I was then leading the relationship, making all the first moves and everything. And I didn't realize that guys are, they need something. They need a smile. They need something to know that, okay, I can now proceed. Like, thank you. You gave me the green light, and now I am going to go, and I'm going to lead the relationship now. And so she had a full episode about that, and it was just so inspiring, and really, it meant a lot to me. I've watched the episode a few times now. It meant that much to me. And so, yeah, that's like the perfect example, the encapsulation of what I thought of Brett Cooper. And as I'm watching Reagan, I'm telling you, it's not doing that at all. The topics, the choice of topics are very strange. And then also, she will go on rabbit trails. Now, that sounds hypocritical if you've ever watched any episode of mine. I almost feel like maybe I should rename this podcast Rabbit Trail because I am always going on tangents. But that is what I do. Also, I am not paid by the Daily Wire, nor will I probably ever be. Look at me. Look at this shirt. That's all you need to know. But she will go on tangents, and she will repeat herself so many times. And then you could tell they were trying to change things up. So they were having her, I guess, new producers now speaking behind the microphone to her. And you could barely hear these people. And it's like, and she's listening, and I don't know if she just doesn't know how to listen, but she's just like, the way she listens is so strange. Like, there's just listening, and then there's like, I don't know what she's doing, where she's just like.
Again, the human body is so freaking cool. I love this stuff.
What is crazy too is that when I was in that toxic relationship I was telling you about,
Yeah.
I was so sick physically, and so I was getting blood work done. My inflammation markers were insane.
Yeah.
And now that, like, obviously I'm in a great relationship and I'm so happy, I got my blood work done again, and everything's perfect.
That's wild.
Which is insane, and I've been just flabbergasted over this.
Yeah.
Like, there's been no actual physical change in, like, my diet or anything else other than basically that.
Your body knows. That's so cool. It's like a protective mechanism in a way, you know? Like it's trying to repel the thing that is causing you harm.
Like, that's a weird way to listen to someone. I don't know. I have to listen to people all the time that I don't want to listen to. I listen to people just ramble about the dumbest stuff. And I feel like I look even more sincere than her. And once again, I'm a nobody. So, and she was too before she made a big decision to say yes to the Daily Wire on taking this show. There was even more kind of behind the scenes information that came out about how this all came to be. At first Reagan was like, no, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to step in for Brett. And she was even like saying to Brett, yeah, let's leave, let's quit and all that. And then she tries it out and she's like, Brett, I tried to be just like you. And Brett was like, just be yourself, dude. And then Reagan realized, I love being on the camera. This is what I want to do. God called me to be on the camera. And so, yeah, then I guess she decided that this was the thing that she needed to do from here on out. And, obviously, people shouldn't be too mean to her in the comments, because at the end of the day, like, if we're claiming to be Christians, we need to be kind. But at the same time, you betrayed your friend. Your friend. You were saying one thing and you did another. You lied to them. And apparently she kept on asking everybody but Brett if she should take over the show. She was asking their advice and all that. Ask Brett. It's Brett's show. I think she was very manipulative. And she's not a genuine person. And it shows through on the camera. And that's why people aren't resonating with her. Also, it was kind of an impossible situation. Anybody that would have replaced Brett, I think, would have had a hard time. But they really didn't help their situation at all. And then some people are seeing a lot of positive comments and they're wondering if they're fake. And maybe they are. They really might be fake. The whole thing is so messed up. But also, it really kind of showed me, if anything was to happen for me one day, maybe in comedy, and Reagan had the choice of sticking with her friend and being loyal, or going off and trying to pursue fame. And I think if she had really thought it through, she would have realized that people were going to be more on Brett's side, and she's on a losing team. Because with the views that they're continuing to have, I don't know how much longer they're going to have Reagan in this show, or in that slot. Maybe they'll just do it forever and they don't care that it's not doing okay. I'm not sure. But it's not a good look on the Daily Wire. And it's a bigger picture of this too. You could listen to prior, it was episodes and episodes ago where I was talking about the conflict with Candace Owens. But I really do wonder if the Daily Wire is having some sort of an issue with females. And with this comment section, they don't have a show for the men where the host could be so incredibly replaceable. But for the women they did, and it almost felt like, oh, Brett, you're trying to maybe get more money. I'm not sure what happened in the contract deals, but you're trying to get more money. We'll just replace you with another pretty face. What is the Daily Wire's view of women? And I love a lot of their shows. And I really love Michael Knowles' show. But even sometimes the way he talks about his wife, and it does feel a little bit like, my question would be, do you think men are better than women? And I'm not sure. And probably he would say no. He'd probably just say the whole thing of like, we just have different roles. And I think that's fine. I completely understand. And I'm actually very traditional in my views. But I do feel just some of this men are superior to women thing from them. And I've continued to feel it. And it's actually kind of pushed me away from wanting to really listen to them as much as I used to. Because they're not superior. They're not. Like, yes, once again, like, for sure, they're stronger. Yeah. I think in a lot of ways, a lot of men are smarter and stuff like that. Like, I'm fully aware, like, we have different strengths, different weaknesses. But at the end of the day, God loves us all the same. And once again, I don't like what's happening where women are being so mean to men and so nasty to men. There's got to be a middle ground here. And so it does worry me seeing the way that they've had this conflict with Candace Owens and now they're having this conflict with Brett. Why are they so mean to the women? Why can't they end things in an amicable way is my question. And yeah, those are my thoughts for now. So we'll see what continues to happen with this saga. And I'm very excited to see what Brett starts up, because I think it's going to be good, whatever it is. And I think God really is using her to speak to maybe some people that wouldn't have ever thought they'd want to be conservatives. So yeah, those are my thoughts there on that.